Hi 99, hope you had a Merry Christmas with loved ones, family, and friends. Here we are at the end of 2025, and before we head into the new year, we wanted to take time to slow down and recap and remember how God moved at 99 this past year. And the way that we're gonna do that is we're gonna interview members from our community who have been in the thick of our story here at 99. And we're also gonna sprinkle in some fun. We're gonna do a series of games, and each time someone loses, someone gets eliminated, that'll be their turn for the interview until we get to one winner. And so let's have fun. Hi Toby, how's it going?
Going pretty well.
One thing we want to start with is just tell the people watching at home how you serve at 99.
Yeah, so I serve as lead on our production team, helping a lot with the setup and cleanup for making sure all the slides are running, audio's working, all that.
Basically saying that worship would not happen without his team and him. So Toby, thank you for all that you do for our community. We're gonna start with the fun trivia question, okay? And so this is the question. How much money did we give toward causes of justice this year altogether? We have four options. A, $10,077. B, $2,345. C, $9,112. Or D, $7,578.
Let's go with C.
C, $7,578.
Let's go with that.
Honestly, it's pretty close.
Oh.
But you should have thought bigger.
Huh.
A, $10,077 as a community. That's how much money we gave towards causes of justice this year, to Oaks and Crown in Kenya, as well as Mobilize Love here in our city, as well as these one-off causes like helping Fares with the birth of their new child, as well as giving towards SF Marin Food Bank. And so thank you 99 for your generosity. Toby obviously thought, we were kind of holy, but not completely holy in giving. Okay, the question that I have for you, Toby, is what was one of the most transformative experiences you had with God this year at 99?
Ooh, yeah. So for this year, I think one of those more transformative moments would be actually fairly recently. We celebrated our 7th anniversary earlier in November.
Yeah.
Just a little over a month ago. And I think it was amazing to just see the turnout, how everyone really pitched in and came together as a community to put up this big celebration. Last year, we transformed a lot as a church to become openly affirming. And I think there was a lot of worries and a lot of hesitation over, hey, where's God gonna take us over the next year? And yes, the year started a little bit rough and a little bit confusing, I think, for a lot of us. By November, it was amazing just to see God's provision coming to us and seeing the whole community offering to help out, offering to set up, to clean up, and I think we went bigger than ever in terms of just all the festivities that we did.
Yeah, it was a fun celebration. It's probably one of my favorites. And Toby actually has been a solid foundation through all the changes and transitions at 99 this past year. And so thank you for being a rock in our community. Just a follow-up question. Our theme for our 7-year anniversary was God's dream. What's a dream that you have for 99 as we move toward the future?
Ooh, I think there's a lot of ways God can take us, but I think at least my dream for our community is to be one that I think is reaching out a lot more to to those underrepresented in church. A lot of times, I think especially as part of our nature as an affirming church is how do we find those individuals who have perhaps been hurt by church in the past due to their sexuality or due to wrestling with other events in their lives that have made them kind of pariahs in their home churches. And I think it's my dream for us to be a home for them, to find them and to bring them to a place that feels safe and comforting.
Wow, honestly, that's my heart too. And so thank you for sharing that, Toby. One question just to kind of close. What's one word that comes to mind when you think about how God moved at 99 in 2025?
I think a lot of it boils down to the word just surprising in a pleasant way. Just earlier when you're asking me how much did we give towards justice-based like offerings and initiatives, I was trying to be realistic optimist. Turns out that we exceeded that. Same with, I think, just how much our community really, came together and really came to serve and really came together with one purpose. Especially, I think, some members really bringing in and inviting in their friends and having their friends find a home with us too this year.
Wow, surprising. Yeah. Surprising. No. Okay, what's a word that comes to mind for 2026 that you envision?
I think for next year, it'd be really cool, I think, for us to have a sense of, for some reason I'm thinking of the word like focus. Maybe this year a lot of it was building this dream, building this community and really seeing what it means for us to, be 99. But then next year, like, how do we want to focus? Where do we want to, I think, have more initiative or more purpose in terms of what we represent and how do we want to come together to achieve whatever that purpose God is giving us? And I'm drawing a blank still for now, but I'm eagerly awaiting to see what God has in store for us.
Wow, focus is great. Thank you so much for sharing, Toby, and have an amazing new year. Thanks for all you do for our community. Yeah, we love you.
Thanks.
Hey, John, how's it going?
Hi, Mickey. I'm doing well.
Would you tell our community what you do at 99, how you serve our people?
Yeah, at 99, I serve on worship.
What do you play?
I play the keyboard.
But John actually plays many other instruments, just putting that out there. We're starting with a bit of trivia just to kind of get our gears going. And so I'm gonna give you a trivia question and you get to choose from one of 3 answers. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Which of our Sunday services in 2025 was the most attended? Option A, Easter, which was also on 4/20. Option B, I don't know why I have to say that. Option B, our 7-year anniversary on November 16th. Or option C, our Halloween costume contest on October 26th.
Oh, man, I got the easiest question. A, Easter.
Actually,
wait, what?
No, you're right.
Okay.
It was Easter. We also had a baby dedication. If you remember, Rio got dedicated that day. And so that was our most highest attended service of the year. It was a beautiful day too. All right, John, I got a question for you. What is one thing you learned about God or your faith this year at 99?
Yeah, one thing I really learned is how fleeting life is. I really, come to realize how faith is a journey. That phrase, it rings so true. Just with all the sermons that we learned this year, just personal life, I've been learning that, there's so much more than just one, spot that we were trying to reach in our faith.
Wow. So in other words, you're saying it's not really about the destination, but the journey is just as important, is kind of what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's beautiful. Is there one way that you feel like that's kind of manifested this year, or you felt that the most?
I think it's in the nothingness. That's when I really, feel that.
Yeah. Wow. I've been thinking about that a lot too, John, because I feel like sometimes like the most mundane moments of our lives we feel are the least sacred. But I feel like what you're speaking to is what I've been thinking about a lot too, is that even the mundane moments, the boring, the in-betweens, those are just as sacred as the mountaintops or the valley lows. And so I think that's really resonant, not just for us two, but for our entire community, especially with the year that we just had. And so thank you for sharing that, John. One last question that we're gonna end with is, what's one word that comes to mind when you think about how God moved at 99 this year?
One word is faithful.
Faithful. That's ironic because you've been so faithful in our community. I feel like we got through this year because of the faithfulness, not only of God, but of our people. So I love that, man. I guess on that same note, what's a word that comes to mind when you think about how God might move at 99 in 2026?
Restoration.
Restoration. That's beautiful. We're going to hold on to that as well. Well, thank you so much for sharing, John. We're so glad that we have you here, and continue making beautiful music for us. We love you, man. Hi, Gianna. How's it going?
Hi, I'm good.
Would you share with us where you serve at 99, how you serve our community?
Yes, I serve on guest experience and on the finance board.
Awesome. Well, we're going to start off with something light, something fun. We're going to start with a little bit of trivia. And because you are on the guest experience team, we thought this would be a really relevant question. And so here's the trivia. How many coffee cards did we give away to first-time guests in 2025? A, 42, B, 34, C, 25, or D, 18?
I'm going to be optimistic and say, was it 42 was the first one?
A?
Was it 42 the first choice?
I wish. I should have made the top one the highest number. It's actually B, 34. We had 34 guests in 2025, which is phenomenal. And you got to greet every single one of them. And so hopefully next year we get to 42, maybe even 50, who knows?
Nice.
One question that we did want to ask you this year is, who is one person from our community that has had the biggest impact on you in 2025?
I'd say the person who had the biggest impact on me from the community was Vanessa. So this year I started training with Vanessa as one of her clients, but it's been so much more than that. Like Vanessa's just been really encouraging to me and giving me a lot of grace as I just kind of like ebb and flow in my health journey, and a lot of advice that I just like would have no idea how to find if it wasn't for her. So she's been an incredible resource and advocate for me. And then coincidentally, Vanessa and I also were in the same CG this last semester, or maybe it was even the last 2 semesters. And so it's just been really nice. Like even during our training sessions, like I get to know Vanessa in a way that I never got to know her in the last 3 years that I've been here.
Yeah.
And so I've just really appreciated building that relationship with her.
Yeah, we're actually using the space because of Vanessa
Yes,
too.
I know, so.
Can I ask you this follow-up question? This wasn't prepared, by the way, but do you get a sense of, as you're training mentally, physically with Vanessa, that there's also some sort of spiritual element that you sense growth in as well?
I do think about that because I feel like part of, or like an aspect of worship can be taking care of yourself. And
Yeah.
I do connect the two. Like I feel like taking care of your body also helps you mentally, and which helps me spiritually as well. And so I do think that it's all interconnected, and it's like what God would want me to do is to take care of my body and the body that He's given me, and also to be like taking more advantage of me being able-bodied and being in a time in my life where I can be a little healthier. And
Yeah.
so I do feel like it's all connected.
Oh, that's great. Honestly, when I look at Vanessa, I always tell her what you do is holistic. It's not just physical, it's like whole embodied workout, and growth.
Yeah.
One question that we want to end with is, what's one word that comes to mind when you think about how God moved at 99 in 2025?
So I prayed about this over the last few days since we talked about this question. And I think for 2025, the question that came to mind for me was friendship. I don't know exactly why, but I do feel like we have had a new influx of people, and just there's a lot of relationships forming. So yeah, friendship was the word that came to mind for me.
See, that's a beautiful word. What about a word that you think of when we approach 2026? Is there a word that comes to mind?
Yeah, so for 2026, the word that I thought about, a little more abstract, I think, the word was avenues. And I don't exactly know why. Maybe it was like God's calling us to explore different avenues or just take new paths. I'm not really sure, but that was the word that came to mind.
Whoa, okay, we're gonna have to write that down. Maybe a new building on a 9th Avenue?
Maybe in the
8th
sunset,
Avenue?
yeah.
Hey.
That's what I was thinking, maybe something like that, maybe something literal, I don't know.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for answering our questions, Gianna. We're excited for 2026, and thank you for being part of our community.
Yeah, thanks.
Hello, Gabby, how's it going?
Hey, how are you? I'm
So
good.
glad that you're here. Would you let our people watching at home know how you serve at 99?
I am on kids ministry and I am also on the worship team.
Yes, phenomenal voice, by the way. I call her the Billie Eilish of 99. Anyway, we're gonna start off with a bit of trivia and just try to guess. And since you're on the worship team, we thought this would be an appropriate trivia question we ask every year.
Okay.
What worship song have we sung the most in 2025? Here are your 4 options. A, Trust in God. B, You Saved Me. C, Made for More. Or D, At the Altar.
I think it's B.
B, You Saved Me?
Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Well, honestly, that was our most sung song last year.
Really?
But this year, it was actually At the Altar. We sang it 10
Really?
times. We drove it into our community. It's so wordy, right? So we have to sing a lot of times.
Wow.
But At the Altar by Elevation Worship was the #1 song that we sang this year. But You Saved Me was actually eight times this year, so that's pretty crazy.
Okay.
I guess a follow-up question, I didn't really prepare this, but if there's a song that you could banish from our worship set list for all of eternity, what song would it be?
Oh, probably just any that's really wordy. At the Altar, I don't think is that wordy.
Okay.
But there are some where I'm like, okay, it's kind of a lot.
Basically any Hillsong song. Okay. Okay, here's a question that I want to ask you. Who is one person from our community that has had the biggest impact on you this year?
So I think if you add them all up, they could be one person, and it's all the little ones at kids ministry. I think they've just provided a true light and just a different perspective that you don't really get when you work and when you're just with all of your friends. It's so funny and just like a palate cleanser being with them, and it's been really great to just have that because you don't really hang out with a lot of kids in 99, or sorry, in just the city in general.
That's true.
So,
That's a
been
beautiful
great.
answer. First of all, I'm sorry for any ways that our kids have offended you or tired you out.
them so
No, they're
much.
amazing. They're amazing. But I agree. I think it, I didn't realize how jaded I was until I spent time with my kids and just seeing their open-eyed wonder and the way they view the world and faith is so beautiful.
It's so literally pure. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're right. It is that simple. Why am I
Yeah.
stressing?
Basically, we just got to spend more time with kids.
We
So sign
do.
up for the kids ministry next year, little ones. One last question that I want to ask you is, what is one word that comes to mind when you think about how God moved at 99 in 2025?
For this year, I think I would have to say in a special way. I think he just moved in a really, really, really special way.
Wow.
Being an Affirmed church for the year, I think just touched so many people's hearts and lives and stories in a way that I think isn't very common for any church. Especially in this country and especially with what's going on right now. 99 has just felt such a special place to attend, to be a part of, to serve for, and I can't wait for next year.
Wow, that's beautiful. Special. We're gonna hold on to that. I guess on the theme of next year, what's a word that comes to mind when you think about how God might move in 2026?
I think a follow-up is that for this upcoming year, we're all committed in kind of whatever way we want,
Yeah.
whether it's, committed to our city, committed to the church, committed to the message, just that we're a committed house and that people can depend on us to be those people
Wow.
from 99.
That's literally a word every pastor dreams to hear from their church. And so you heard it, 99, committed, 2026. Let's go. Well, thank you so much, Gabby, for sharing and joining us. And thank you for being part of our community.
Love it.
Thank you so much for an incredible 2025. We're so excited for what God has in store for us in 2026. Have a happy new year. God bless.